Chapter 4 Agriculture. On one fine Sunday, Mr. Roy decided to go on an outing with his family. He decided to go to one of his friends who lived in a village situated around 35 km from his house. Mr. Roy, with his wife and his two children, Shalini and Sitich, started their journey at 10 a.m. It was monsoon season and previous nights, downpour had made the weather pleasant. When they reached near the village, Shalini and Kshitij were surprised to see some people working in the field in knee-deep water. They got curious about them. Mr. Roy explained that they were showing plants of rice. Plants of rice need a lot of stagnant water, so they had to stand in knee-deep water and plant rice spellings. The occupation of working in fields is called agriculture. Mr. Roy and his friend told Shalini and Sitij about agriculture in detail. Agriculture. Agriculture means cultivation of a variety of crops. The term agriculture has been derived from the Latin word agri and culture. The word agri means land and the word culture means cultivation. So, it can be said that agriculture is the art and science of cultivation the soil and raising the crops and livestock. Agriculture helped the people of the ancient civilizations to live a settled life. India is an agriculture country. Almost 70% of the population is dependent on agriculture. Agriculture provides us food, raw materials for various industries, and fodder for the cattle. The Indian plains of the Ganga and Satluj are almost the most fertile plains in the world. At the time of independence, production within the country was not sufficient. Tremendous progress has been made in agriculture since independence. Today, we are self-sufficient in the production of food grains. Factors affecting agriculture. The main factors that affect agriculture are geographical factors such as relief, soil and climate, and technical factors such as modes of irrigation, agriculture, equipment, etc. The climate factors include relief, temperature, rainfall and humidity. Relief. Practice of agriculture is more convenient in plains than in hills and mountains. Land which is situated for agriculture is called arable land. Plants have alluvial soils and fertile land. Availability of agriculture equipments, machines in plants, quality labor and better transport facilities also assist agriculture in plains. Soil. Alluvial soil is the best situated for agriculture. When rivers inundate the low-lying areas, they deposit alluvial soil on the banks, making the area fertile. Soil also supplies moisture and nutrients to the plants. Soil which contains a variety of minerals is suitable for the production of a variety of crops. The fertility of soil gets reduced with continuous agriculture activity. Crop relation. Living the land for 2 or 3 years and adding fertilizer and manure are some ways to increase the fertility of soil. Climate conditions. Hot and humid climate are most suitable for agriculture. Equatorial and tropical regions have such type of climatic conditions throughout the year. So, in these regions, agriculture is practiced almost throughout the year. Moisture is also an important factor for agriculture. Crops of tropical region need more moisture in dry areas. Agriculture is possible with irrigation. Economic factor. Availability of transport, market, cheap labor, seeds and fertilizers are important economic factors for agriculture. Availability of easy loan on low interest rate is also an important economic factor for agriculture. In addition to the above mentioned factors, system of land tenure, land use, availability of machines and other equipments, and government policies also influence the agriculture a lot. Types of farming. Given below are different types of farming prevalent in the world. These types of farming are practiced in different climatic conditions. Let's know about them. Subsistence farming. Subsistence type of farming is practiced by a farmer to meet his personal demand of grains. After self-consumption, very little is left to sell in the market. The land holdings in this type of farming are small and scattered. The farmers use primitive tools and techniques along with traditional manure and a little of chemical fertilizers to grow a variety of crops depending on their needs. They also do not care for the suitability of soil for crops. Their family members provide the required cheap labor for agricultural work. In this type of farming, the production is very low. Intensive farming. In this type of farming, the size of the farm is small and the land is intensively cultivated. The farmer tries to get the maximum output from the small plot. The farmer uses simple tools and abundant human labor. This type of farming is practiced in densely populated countries situated in monsoon region. Long growing season helps in producing 2 or 3 crops on the same land. Rice is the main crop grown in this type of farming. Other crops like wheat, maize, sugarcane, pulses, and oilseeds are also grown. Extensive farming. This kind of farming is practiced mainly in sparsely populated areas where abundant land is available for cultivation. The land holdings are usually large and agricultural. Work is done using machines. The total output is high, but the yield per hectare is low. The crops are reared for the sole purpose of sale in the market, whether domestic or international. This type of farming is capital intensive. Wheat and maize are 2 most important crops grown in this farming. In the regions of long winter, single crop is grown as the long winter restricts the growing season. Shifting cultivation. Shifting agriculture is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Farmers who practice this type of farming burn an area to clear forests and finally unburned trees are cropped off or left to decay naturally. The farmer separated the ash of the burned tree on the land. After a few years, the soil loses its fertility and the farmers move away with their families to other places to practice this type of farming. In this farming, the yield is low as very little or no manure is used. This farming is very common in tribal areas. This farming is mainly practiced in Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and parts of Northeast India. Shifting agriculture is known as jam agriculture in Northeast India, Ladakh in Malaya Peninsula, Milpa in Central America, Masol in Congo Basin of Africa, Kingin in Philippines, Roca in Brazil and Conic in West. Mixed farming. This type of farming involves raising of livestock and cultivation of crops on the same farm. Livestock are reared for supplementary income when crops are not ready. The farmers are generally large and investment is high. This type of farming is mostly practiced in the prairies of North America, pampas of South America and steppes of Eurasia. Commercial farming. Commercial farming is intensive and extensive. In intensive farming, the size of the land holding is small due to fragmentation. The yield is produced with irrigation, fertilizers, and scientific methods of farming and use of hybrid seeds. Huge capital, labor and skill are required for making a small area productive. In India, Punjab and Haryana practice this type of farming. Extensive commercial farming is practiced in sparsely populated areas where cultivable land is available in plenty. Crops are raised for commercial purposes only. Use of modern machines is its features. Plantation agriculture. Plantation farming is a type of commercial farming. In this type of farming, there is a predominance of a single crop. A single crop is produced in a large area. Tea, coffee, sugarcane, rubber, banana, spices and cotton are grown in plantation farming. This type of farming was introduced by the Europeans in the tropical and subtropical regions. Farms are large, so they are called states. Skilled labor and huge investment are its requirement. Coffee plantation of Brazil, rubber plantation of Malaysia and tea plantation of India are good examples of plantation agriculture. Banana plantation of West Indies also comes under this category. Types of crops. A variety of crops are produced to meet the demand of the population. Following are the classification of crops. Kharif crops. The Kharif season begins with the start of monsoon. The Kharif crop are sown during April to July and are harvested by October to November. These crops need a lot of water. Pulses, rice, jaws, bajra and paddy are such crops. Rabi crops. Rabi crops are generally sown during the months of October to February and harvested during April to May. These crops need less water. Wheat, barley, mustard, peas, cotton and sugarcane are important Rabi crops. Major crop groups. There are three main food groups. These are food crops, cash crops and plantation crops. Food crops are the ones that we eat. Rice, wheat, millets, oilseeds and groundnuts are food crops. Cash crops are non-food crops. They are used as raw materials in various industries. Cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco and tea are major cash crops. Plantation crops are also cash crops. These are grown in a large area called plantation or estates. Rubber is a plantation crop. Rice. Rice grows best in a hot and wet climate. It is the staple food, of course, of people in the country. Rice is grown mainly in Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Assam, Chhattisgarh and Punjab. West Bengal is the largest producer of rice in India. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world. Bangladesh, Philippines, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Japan, Sri Lanka and Brazil are another rice producing countries. China is the largest producer of rice in the world. Rice needs high temperature of about 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius during the growing season. It also needs high humidity and rainfall of about 150 cm to 200 cm. Alluvial soil with water retaining capacity is best suited for the cultivation of rice. Flooded fields are required at the time of its growth. Wheat. Wheat is the second major crop of India. It requires cold and dry climate with moderate temperature of about 15.5 degrees Celsius. Moderate rainfall of about 75 cm is needed during the growing season. Well-drained loamy soil is best suited for cultivation of wheat. Bright and sunny days are needed at the time of harvesting. Wheat is grown in a big way in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. The northern plains are known as the wheat bowl of India. Russia, USA, Canada, Australia, Ukraine, Argentina and South Africa are another important wheat producing countries. Jute. Jute is often called the golden fiber of India. It is used for making gunny bags and carpets. It needs warm and wet climate. In India, it is grown in West Bengal, Assam, Bihar, Odisha, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. India is the largest producer of jute in the world. Bangladesh, Brazil, China, Thailand, Taiwan and Malaysia are other jute producing countries. Tea. Tea is called the queen of beverages. India is one of the largest producers of tea. In India, it is grown in Assam, West Bengal and Nilgiri Hills in Karnataka. Sloping lands is required to avoid water logging. The temperature should be between 15 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. Tea needs annual rainfall of about 150 cm to 250 cm. The rain should be well distributed throughout the year. Sri Lanka, Kenya, Japan, Indonesia and Bangladesh are other tea-producing countries. Oil seeds. Oil seeds provide oil to cook our food. Groundnuts, mustard, sesame, linseeds and castor seeds are the leading oilseed crops. These are grown in different parts of India. Gujarat is the largest producer of groundnuts in our country. Sugarcane. It is a cash crop of India. It is used to produce sugar and jaggery. In India, the major producers of sugar are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. India is the largest producer of sugarcane in the world. Hot and humid climate with well-drained, loamy soil is the best for growing sugarcane. The field should be leveled with no water accumulation. Cotton. Cotton is also an important cash crop of India. It grows well in the dried parts of the black soil of the Deccan Plateau. In India, the main producers of cotton are Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Punjab. Cotton needs high temperature between 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. During the growing period, rainfall should vary between 60 cm to 100 cm. Infrequent showers, dry, sunny and clear weather is needed during the time of picking of the cotton. Coffee. Coffee is also a popular beverage. Coffee powder is obtained by grinding the roasted coffee beans. Tropical regions are best suited for cultivation of coffee. For coffee, the temperature should be between 23 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. It needs annual rainfall of about 150 cm and 200 cm. Well-drained loamy soil with high humus content is ideal for the growth of coffee. It does not need direct sunlight, so shady trees are planted in coffee fields to check direct sunlight. Brazil is the largest coffee-producing country in the world. India, Angola, Ethiopia, Mexico, Cote d'Ivoire and Colombia are other coffee-producing countries. Did you know? The big coffee plant in Brazil are known as fazendas. Originally, they were concentrated in northeast region where sugar was produced. Rubber. Rubber is made from the latex of a tree called Hevea brasiliensis. Plantation of rubber needs flat or gentle slope. The required temperature should be between 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. The rain should be well distributed about 200 cm to 300 cm throughout the year. Well-drained laterite soil is best suited for rubber plantation. Malaysia, Indonesia, India, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Brazil, Nigeria and Liberia are important rubber-producing countries of the world. India ranks 5th in rubber production in the world. Green Revolution. The Green Revolution has made the country self-sufficient in food grains and other agriculture products. This had become possible because of the scientific research is the use of better seeds, better use of fertilizers, better irrigation facilities and the introduction of new machines. Dr. Norman Ernest Borlaug is called the father of the Green Revolution. In 1951, he developed high-yielding variety HYV wheat seeds in Mexico. These HYV seeds increased the production of wheat. The term Green Revolution is generally used to refer to the vast increase in the production of food grains, especially wheat and rice. In India, the HYV seeds were used in the year 1964 to 65 for the first time. The introduction of HYV seeds has changed the Indian agriculture in the following ways. It introduced HYV seeds. It introduced widespread use of pesticides, herbicides and insecticides. It ensured enough and timely availability of water through development of irrigation. It consolidates small and fragmented holdings. Large-scale chemical fertilizers come into use. Provision of agriculture credits from banks to buy inputs was introduced. It helped in the introduction of farms mechanization with government's aids. It developed coordination between agriculture, universities and farmers. It also improved connectivity of rural roads and markets. Did you know? Dr. Norman Borlaug was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970 for his contribution to agriculture. Star points. Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating the soil and raising the crops and livestock. Geographical and tropical factors affect agriculture. Practice of agriculture is more convenient in plains than in hills and mountains. Alluvial soil is best suited for agriculture. Subsistence type of farming is practiced by a farmer to meet his own demand of grains. Shifting agriculture is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Mixed farming involves raising of livestock and cultivation of crops on the same farm. The Kharif season brings with the start of monsoon. There are three main food crops: cash crops and plantation crops. Dr. Norman Ernest Borlaug is called the father of the Green Revolution. The introduction of HVY seeds has revolutionized in Indian agriculture. New words: sow, the plant land with seeds. Fertile, that can produce good crops. Manure, natural or artificial fertilizer. Predominance, state of being stronger or greater in number.